Do you want to live your best life, feeling happy, feeling healthy, maybe going after that job that you want, or even setting up that business you've been thinking about for a long time, or even just completing all of that studying you have whilst enjoying relationships and feeling absolutely amazing?
Of course you would, wouldn't you? Like, who doesn't want to feel that way?
Exactly.
But listen, sometimes it's actually a bit too hard, isn't it? Let's be honest. Sometimes there's just not enough time. We're not really sure what to do. Maybe we don't know where and how to actually start. Maybe we have other priorities. And maybe we just can't be consistent with ourselves.
Definitely. And well, we've figured out the best, basically the best combo of what you really need to overcome those hardships and live the life that you want. Okay, you can literally do these 8 practices and guarantee your health and happiness. Okay, because based on science-backed habits, the healthiest people follow what you're about to learn and what you're about to actually go through on this episode. And they do this to really get ahead and stay ahead without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, there's something special if you can do all this without feeling that overwhelmed as well. It's incredible. And when you start to practice these 8 things that we're going to share with you, you'll notice your life change significantly, right? You will start to notice that you're maybe even surprised by your own growth and how amazing you feel. You will actually start to, if, by the way, if you promise yourself you're actually going to do these things every day, then you'll actually start to notice your relationships improve. You'll start to feel even more confident. You'll feel healthy. You'll feel energized actually to do the things that you want to do. You'll actually start to enjoy what you're doing instead of stressing out about it all. And all at the same time, you'll have a sense of freedom and security in the process.
Definitely. These 8 practices, guys, are often overlooked in such a fast-paced world that we live in. Yet they become such a priority. When they become a priority, should I say that the results become, like we say, magical. Okay, your wellness will go to the next level. Your life will just finally become effortless, which is why we've kind of called these the Magic 8.
It actually feels magical.
Exactly, because it feels magical when it's done.
So here at Wellness Theory, you know that we've dedicated our lives to exploring what makes wellness work. But obviously, on our journey, we've come across, what doesn't work for people as well, obviously. And by the way, when we're talking about wellness, we're talking around the whole world-rounded parts of health, right? We're talking about our relationships, we're talking about our financial situation, we're talking about our mental, physical, emotional, spiritual well-being here. And whenever people are struggling with this all-round idea of wellness, they tend to fall into one of 5 of these camps.
Definitely. And camp number 1 is basically people who do all the right things and get no results. Okay, so this happens because the right things in the wrong order just don't work. And some people will find that the right things aren't right for them. That's the most important thing here, okay? Just because it's right for someone, it doesn't mean it's right for you. You've got to find what's right for you. For example, how many of you can relate to having, you're exercising regularly, you're eating healthy diets, but you're just getting no result, or you're not getting the result that you want, okay? So it just means that those right things just don't fit you.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not right for you.
Absolutely. And listen, like, if you're struggling with wellness, maybe you fall into this second camp, right, which is not knowing what to do, so you just try anything, okay? A little bit like what John just said there, is like you're trying the latest gimmick, and you're looking for those instant results, but maybe it's not just working. That diet, that routine, that book, maybe it's just not hitting the kind of nail on the head for you. And the problem comes here is because you're lacking the understanding about yourself. And when you misunderstand, or you're not sure what you need, you will kind of jump onto these new gimmicks, and you can really find yourself kind of stuck there, and that's even more frustrating, isn't it, because you don't actually get results.
Definitely. Or maybe you kind of fit into camp number 3, which is you're someone who tries everything, but you stick to nothing. Yeah. Okay, does that sound familiar at all? So this is where you get distracted and you're looking for instant gratification, and that is basically, it's not going to work, because those shortcuts, it's just a shortcut to failure. They just don't work. Short-term shortcut fixes just don't work. Okay, so when it comes to all-round wellness, patience is our friend. Gotta be patient. Okay, we need to take time to discover what really works for us. So it's important, and that can take a bit of time. It can take days, weeks, months to find what really works. When we hop from one novelty to the other, we just basically really sell ourselves short. Okay, and this is important when it's like, are you giving yourself enough time before you change into something? Are you giving yourself enough time to see if it works? Okay, giving it 1 or 2 days is not enough time. Okay, you might need to give it a few weeks or even a couple of months to see if what you're doing really works for you. If not, then it's time to change. So you've got to keep consistent and be patient with it.
Yeah, definitely. That's also known as like the shiny object syndrome, right? You just keep like just going off of these different things. Listen, you may well be struggling with camp number 4, okay? And this is when people are waiting for something to go wrong before taking action. Now, this, like the most common example here for this is when somebody has a health problem, all of a sudden they start taking care of their health, right? You hear that somebody gets diagnosed with cancer, they have a heart attack, and all of a sudden they change their lifestyle, right? Or they realise their work or their job is stressing them out so much they get to the point where, no, I'm just going to resign or I'm just going to leave. Right, they will wait until it gets worse until they actually do something about it. But the reason why this isn't helpful in the long term is because you're being reactive rather than proactive with your life situation, and there's just no need to be. And then your whole wellness starts to suffer, because while you're going through that health transition or you're going through that work stress transition, whatever it may be for you, you're going to end up neglecting other areas of your well-being as well, right? And that's not going to be contributing well to your wellness.
Definitely. And maybe you're someone who kind of fits into our last camp number 5, which is not knowing what to do and doing nothing. Again, I've seen a lot of people like this, a lot of clients that I've dealt with in the past in that situation where when wellness just becomes so confusing and overwhelming that they just tend to ignore it because they just don't know what to do. They just do nothing about it instead. Yeah, they literally just get paralyzed and don't take action at all because they just don't know what to do, where to start. There's too much, so they go back to what they're comfortable in. Okay, and it's important to just understand this. This can go on for years or decades. I had a client who was doing this for 2 decades before they decided, or before they kind of found their way to seeking advice and help. So when you do feel like that, it is important that to just take a step back, okay, and get out of that paralysis mode and then start to kind of seek help.
Definitely. And listen, guys, it doesn't matter which camp it is you're falling into. Maybe there's a camp that we haven't mentioned, but they're like the prime 5. And regardless of where you fall into these camps, you'll know that it's frustrating, right? It's exhausting, it's tiring when you're constantly doing these things, you're not getting results. And there's always this little niggling voice in your mind that's kind of on at you to, you're not getting results still, but you're going to try this anyway, like what's the point? And you always set yourself up for failure just at the beginning because you're not addressing where you are, so you can meet yourself where you are, which is essential. And we obviously don't want that for you, right? Which is why we are going to share with you the Magic 8, what we call the Magic 8, because these practices are really going to help you to be able to design, be proactive, and create the life that you actually want, so you can perform at the highest levels possible.
These fundamentals have made wellness work for hundreds of our clients and our students over the years. So you don't need to wait for unnecessary suffering or stress to really start to take care of yourself. You don't need to keep searching for the right wellness tools, okay? And the most important thing is you don't need to worry about not getting results, because you will. And instead, the fundamentals you'll be practicing will help you to build rapport and a nurturing relationship with yourself, so you can be proactive and to flourish by any means, regardless of what your goal is.
Yeah, guys, our goal isn't to be perfect, right? Our goal is to become more self-aware. It's to actually make sure that we're becoming more aware every day of the self-care that actually counts. And when we get clear on what those things are, you then get to cover all bases when it comes to wellness. So regardless of your goals, you'll be able to show up in the most perfect way possible because you're so aware of what it is you're actually doing for yourself in the first place. And you'll actually guarantee a very fulfilling and energizing life when you start to adopt these 8 practices on a very consistent basis.
Definitely. And so the Magic 8 that we're going to cover and we're going to go through these in a little bit more detail in a second. But number 1 is breathing. Number 2, we've got movement. Number 3 is nutrition and hydration. Number 4 is quality of thinking. Number 5 is sleep. Number 6 is emotions. 7 is energy. And 8 is action taken. So those are the 8, the Magic 8 that we're going to cover. And they may sound like things that you've heard before, okay? But we're going to share why they are the best of the best when it comes to wellness practices, and how to actually make them work for you by using our scorecard, which we'll share with you at the end of this episode. So you can perform the Magic 8 every single day for less than 90 minutes a day.
less than 90 minutes a day, okay? Most people spend longer than that doing lots of other things they don't really need to be doing. So less than 90 minutes a day will really help you with these 8 practices. Even though I know, like John said there, they sound like things you've heard before, but when done in the right order and with the right level of self-awareness and a useful tool, just like the scorecard John said we're going to share, is going to help you the most to be able to put these into practice. So let's dive in and find out about these magic 8, shall we? So the first one, okay, is obviously breathing. Okay, breathing included in this is also meditation, mindful minutes, simply being still will also count as part of that kind of breathing time as well. And basically, when we take as little as 5 minutes a day to just be with ourselves in this way, we actually start to reconnect our heart and our mind, okay, and our mind and our body. And when we start to do this, everything else starts to fall into place, right? Our natural breathing rhythm comes into a nice healthy pattern, so our nervous system can actually rest and recover in the way that it needs to. And according to the Heart Math Institute, which is where we get a lot of our research from as well, because they are like the leaders when it comes to psychophysiology, and which really, really helps string together everything that we work on here when we look at mental, physical and emotional, spiritual well-being. They got the science behind it, which really, really it should help you to really understand why it's so beneficial. And in this case, you know, your stress, emotions, your interactions between your heart and brain are all at play when you're in your everyday life. So when we breathe, all of these things come together and they start to integrate. Okay, and in as little as 5 minutes a day, what the Heart Math Institute have found out is that it can literally help to reduce anxiety, depression, stress. It can help to increase our level of self-acceptance and self-esteem, right? We feel so much more confident when we just take little as 5 minutes. You're hearing me, 5 minutes, okay, all these benefits. You'll actually be able to stop different cravings, even different kind of addictions that you have. Your ability to learn and remember improves. Your blood pressure gets better, and you can actually manage any pain that you go through in everyday life as well, just through 5 minutes of simple breathing.
Definitely. And our next kind of stop on the magic 8 is movement. Okay, so movement is key. I'm sure you've heard it before. Movement is key to life. Movement is where our body likes to move. So choose your favorite ways to move and factor them into your day. For example, it could be walking, it could be running, it could be jogging, it could be dancing, it could be going to the gym, it could be swimming, gardening, sports, okay, martial arts. It could be anything that you actually enjoy doing. So the main thing here is don't overthink it. Choose what you enjoy and go with it. By honouring your body through movement for a minimum of 30 minutes a day, that's all it takes. 30 minutes of movement, okay? And not crazy intense movement, just moving the body how it wants to move, and that feels good for you. You can improve heart health, lower the risk of strokes, cardiovascular disease, metabolic issues and diabetes. Okay, it aids in weight loss. It can reduce stress. It can increase energy and productivity. You can improve self-confidence and improve memory and creativity. Most people think they have to really slog it out when they go to work out. They've got to do 1-2 hours, the more the better, to gain these benefits. But you don't, okay? A recent study published in the American Journal of Physiology showed that 30 minutes of exercise, even just exercise you enjoy and that's basically not too hard for you, is just as effective for the benefits we just mentioned as doing 60 minutes, okay, a day. So 30 minutes is more than enough. You don't need to do any more than that, and that is just a minimum to get all those benefits that we mentioned. And
guys, just to add there, it's different if you've got like a different kind of goal. If you've got a performance goal and you want to run a marathon, obviously your training needs to change, right? But we're talking about your health, and we're talking about your general wellness that keeps you at your optimum when it comes to mental, physical and emotional performance, almost as a baseline.
Definitely.
And then from there, everything else gets to build on top of that. So that's just with the breathing and the movement, that's only 35 minutes already. 5 minutes of breathing, 30 minutes of moving.
Exactly.
5 minutes of breathing, then go for a walk. What?
Easy.
Like, so easy. Like it's just like simple things. Going back to basics, sometimes the most effective thing for us, isn't it?
Definitely. So why they're called fundamentals. Yeah. Okay, brings you back to your baseline.
So the next fundamental that we have, okay, is our quality of thinking. Now, this is something that you'll hear me talk about all the time. Our clients that are watching this will be like, here she goes again. We're talking about quality of thinking again because it's so important, and it is one of our fundamentals, because our quality of thinking, this self-talk, this inner dialogue, okay, this all affects our ability to make healthy decisions. It affects how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about our environment and how we are engaging and interacting with life. So a resourceful level of thinking is critical to actually experience quality life as well. Now, when you're aware of your quality of thinking, there are so many different benefits here. One, you actually start to like yourself a lot better. You start to enjoy life, like I've already said. But there's a lot of evidence now to back up that it can increase your lifespan. It'll help you decrease stress and depression. It will stop brain fog. You have like that mental clarity. Your energy will increase. By just thinking in a helpful way, you have more energy, right? And I'm really highlighting that because so many people tell us all the time that they feel tired all the time, right? But actually, when we start to generate the right thought patterns that can create energy, we actually get a whole host of other different benefits, like in building resilience, right? We become more resilient. We can keep going for longer as well in many cases, whether that's in your work, whether that's in your relationships. You'll actually be able to improve your ability to solve problems as well. There's been a lot of science to back up as well that even your cardiovascular health, okay, and your risk of dis-ease is reduced when you are aware of your quality of thinking, because our thoughts create this chemical reaction inside our body which produces the emotions, okay? And so we don't have to have that toxic energy because our feelings are feedback to what we're thinking. So if we take care of the thinking, we don't have to worry too much about these feelings that keep coming up for us, okay? They don't host such a big problem anymore, okay? Now, journaling as little as 10 minutes a day can give you access to all of those benefits that I've literally just shared. Just 10 minutes. Okay, and that journaling will involve you just channeling your thoughts in the best way possible. Okay, and the thing I love so much about this, because I always talk about journaling and I've always been a big fan of it for a very, very long time, is that there's so much research now coming to support this idea. It's not just now feedback that people tend to give. No, there's some solid studies that have been done on this as well. One of them being that the University of Texas, there was a psychologist and a researcher that basically was just studying this and to see how journaling affects our immune system. And what they found is actually that our immune system and our immune cells, if you like, they basically get strengthened when we go through a journaling process, as long as we're doing it in a resourceful way. There's also now some studies coming out of the same place about symptoms of arthritis, okay? And that was I was surprised to hear that one. Like, as much as I know that how much our thoughts affect our physical being, to know that it can help somebody reduce the symptoms of arthritis, it just blows my mind. And if you can imagine what that does on a physical level, if it can strengthen our immune system and reduce pain, what effect is that having on our psychology, and then how we show up in the world and how good our relationships are and how we feel about ourselves and our world around us. It's something that we can really leverage, which is so easy to do.
Nice. Good. And our next fundamental we're going to look at is nutrition and hydration. And I'm sure you've heard us say this a lot, and you've probably heard it everywhere, how important food and water is to our body. Okay, and when we talk about food, we're not talking about diets. We're talking about balanced food and water intake. Is not a diet, okay? It's a lifestyle. It's about being mindful of your choices and what you're putting in to your body, okay? It's a lifestyle choice which is sustainable and efficient. If you can't stick to it for more than a few months, it's something that should never be done, okay? It's not congruent for your health and your wellness. It gives your body all the nutrients it needs to function correctly when you have a balanced kind of nutritional and hydration approach. Now, by creating this balanced approach, you will keep your hormones balanced and efficient. And this is a kind of one that is lost a lot when it comes. Hormones are not really discussed a lot when it comes to food and nutrition and water, and they are such a big part of how our whole physiology, our whole wellness operates. Okay, when those hormones are in place as well and that balance is there, we can stabilize our emotions better. We can encourage a healthy microbe, a gut microbe, which helps all those important nutrients from those foods go where it needs to go in the body to help us recover, to help us heal, to help us become more resourceful, clear-headed, get rid of brain fog. All these things that our microbe can help us do when we have a healthy, balanced approach. Okay, we can also improve brain function. I'm sure how many times have you probably gone on like a binge of processed or processed foods or takeaway, and the next morning your brain just feels like it's telling you, yeah, I'm shutting down for the day. Okay, I'm not going to think.
We've all been there to some extent.
Exactly. So it really helps to improve your brain function, to prevent dis-ease, to improve sort of sleep quality. Okay, as well as maintain a healthy body weight, which I know is important for a lot of people out there, and also increases energy. Okay, because the food you take in has a direct effect on
fuel, isn't it?
It's fuel for your body. It's like the petrol you put in your car. Okay, so fuel for your body. It helps you to generate and create more energy. Now, with over 30 years of combined experience between us, I think it's over 35 now, actually. Getting more.
John's getting older.
Getting older. I'm getting older, Charlotte's not.
I'm getting younger.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, we've been in the industry, the kind of wellness, fitness, health industry for over 30 years, 35 plus years. And we found that basically if you want to create lasting change, you've got to incorporate a balanced approach when it comes to your food and your nutrition. And I know a lot of people struggle with this. I haven't got the time to eat healthy or to prepare. And it is as simple. All you need to do is, it averages out to 35 minutes a day. Okay, whereas plan your shopping list. Okay, prepare your food, whether you prepare 2 days in advance or 3 days or the whole week. Okay, I know from previous experience and with clients, it should definitely take you no more than 4 hours to prepare a whole week's worth of meals.
And that's not necessarily all at once.
And that's not all at once.
Yeah.
So you can that's what we used to do. We used to prepare for the whole week because of time constraints, and now we just do it day by day because we now have we created our life in such a way where we can do it day by day. So there's always a solution, and it should take you no more than 35 minutes per day to focus on that balanced approach to nutrition and to hydration.
Yeah. So the next fundamental that we have is our emotions, our emotional well-being. Now, when we acknowledge our emotions and how we feel and what's going on inside of us, that's when we actually get to end any suffering when it comes to how we are feeling about situations, depending on what kind of level of emotion you're feeling. We want to make sure that we obviously have a healthy relationship with our emotions so that you can start to let go of the things that don't serve you and so you can enhance the things that do serve you. When our body is giving us emotions, right, or when our thinking is fueling our emotions, this feedback that we have in our emotional state is our clue, right? It should be a clue for you to know, okay, well, this is a good thing, this is not such a good thing for me, because your emotions will tell you so. Right, so if you start to feel like you're not feeling very good about something, or you're feeling anxious, or you're feeling nervous about something, you need to, one, go back into your quality of thinking and make sure that you're perceiving the situation efficiently. And when you're journaling, like the fundamental we mentioned earlier, that's going to help you to do that. But then when the feeling shows up, when that emotion actually starts to show up, that's then your clue to say, well, actually, no, this is off track. And I want to be feeling this anxiety or these nerves. Actually, what do I want to be feeling instead? Now you start to be able to generate these positive emotions, right? Or these higher vibrational emotions that are actually going to help you. Maybe they're going to help you to feel calm in a situation instead of nervous. Either way, your emotional well-being needs your attention, which is why this is one of the most important of the Magic 8, because they almost affect everything. When we feel excited about going to work out, we're more likely to do it. When we feel like we're feeling a bit heavy and it's a chore and it's too much effort and we're bored, we're experiencing those feelings, we're not going to go work out when we feel that way. We're going to find something else that's going to almost entertain us and trigger those positive emotions. So our emotional awareness really, really plays a role in all of the other fundamentals. I mean, they all do, to be fair. None of them work solely individually, which is why we encompass all 8 in the Magic 8. But the emotions essentially are the ones that you can get more of a handle on than sometimes we think, because everybody knows we're supposed to eat well. Everybody knows it's good to take some time out and to breathe and to be still. We hear these things often, but often we don't really hear too much that we need to take stock of how we feel and listen to our emotions. You know, often we're told we need to push them away, we need to just get on with it. And that's causing a lot of issues, especially for upcoming generations. And obviously past generations, you know, it's tough, and we need to start reaping the benefits. So by becoming emotionally aware, you'll be able to literally reduce that stress that you might be experiencing, like we're always talking about. You will have more confidence, okay? You reduce the risk of dis-ease, because when we have too much of these low vibrational emotions in our system, they become toxic, right? So when we get rid of those toxic feelings and toxic emotions, we actually then get to reduce our risk of dis-ease, right? We get to relieve chronic pain. We actually are able to actually improve our ability to communicate as well, based on how it is we're feeling. Okay, what else? Build resilience. You're able to succeed when you're in challenging times is a big one, and what most people need, especially if they're looking to start a new job or have a new relationship. You need to be able to be resilient. You need to be confident. You need to have that self-esteem, and these are all more of the benefits you get with emotional awareness. Now, there was a study, which I'll refer to a note here, is from the National Institute of Health and Medicine, and this is a study from the biopsychosocial research that they did, which really shows a direct link to emotions and to pain. And it's actually proved now in not just in this study, but in many studies. This is probably the most prolific that people have kind of really taken to. I mean, there's the doctors and people are now really being mindful of this when they're addressing people with pain. They're actually checking on their emotional well-being instead of just giving them Prozac or painkillers or whatever, right? They're actually taking the emotional state into account, because there is clearly a direct link now between emotions and pain, specifically chronic pain. And what happens as a result of this study is that it's shown that we have the potential to actually facilitate our own healing and recovery, right? Just through processing our emotions, knowing how we feel, knowing what to do with those emotions, and being able to let them go is essential for you to achieve all the things that you want to be doing and to be healthy and live a well-balanced life.
Definitely, and that's exactly what I did with the chronic pain I had for many years.
Yeah.
I experiencing for 4 years a chronic pain in my back, and I tried everything physical, nothing worked, doctors, nothing. And it was only when I started to connect with my emotions more and start to understand what I was feeling and what I was holding in, that's when the pain started to go, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And that for me showed a massive connection between my emotional state and the pain I was experiencing. That pain was just a signal saying that you've got to connect more with your emotions. You've got to deal with them and not just ignore them, which I used to do a lot.
Yeah, because pain is a signal. I said earlier, like, emotions are clues. Right, our physical feelings are clues as well, right? That pain, because like you always experience pain in back and neck, right? And every time that little bit of pain would pop up, that's basically emotion saying, "Please listen to me. Please listen to me now. It's time to listen. Oh, we need to get this toxic energy out of our system." That's what's happening with chronic pain, and we've all got the ability to do it. We've all got the ability, and just simple exercises will really, really help you to be able to do that as part of this Magic 8.
Definitely. So the next one on the Magic 8 fundamentals is the sleep. Okay, another very important one, which you've heard a million times before, but it is so important. The quality of sleep is often the most neglected area of wellness, but it yields a very high return for minimal effort. Okay, so many people now rushing around there, we've got so much to do, and think, okay, what can I sacrifice to get more done? Sleep. No. Okay, but yeah, maybe you can have less sleep. As long as the quality of your sleep is there, you're going to get the recovery and the rest. Now, countless studies have really shown that the quality of sleep matters more than the number of hours you get. So yeah, if you keep getting told that you have to sleep 8 hours, but you're thinking, actually, if I can sleep 6, I've got 2 extra hours in the morning, I can do stuff, then great. But make sure those 6 hours are top quality hours, so you still get that recovery time that you need, that you would have got if you slept 8 hours. Okay, and this takes 0 time to implement at all. It doesn't take any time in your day. All you've got to do is clean up your sleep hygiene. Okay, make your room darker, make your room cooler. Okay, make sure you relax a bit before you go to bed. You can do your breathing or meditation before. You can do it in bed. Okay, you don't have to go somewhere else and then go to bed after. You can literally lay in bed and do 5 minutes of breath work to calm yourself down, and then helps you go off to sleep. Okay, there's many different ways that it's not going to take more time from your day to do. And when you do this, and when you actually get that quality of sleep, it's going to improve your attention and concentration tenfold. Okay, I'm sure you've woken up from a bad night's sleep and your head just, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to have to speak to anyone or write anything, because your brain is just so exhausted, it hasn't got that recovery. So your attention and concentration massively improves. You keep your immune system strong, because again, when you're sleeping, you recover, you repair, you heal from what you've done through that day. Okay, you improve your mental and emotional well-being. Okay, so it's easier for you to deal with those emotions Charlotte was talking about earlier. Help you to deal with them and process them in a healthy way. You get more balanced and kind of balanced hormones, and you produce more hormones as well in your body to help create that health within all of your systems. Okay, you reduce stress levels big time, because who feels stressed when they've had a good night's sleep? No one. You feel great. Okay, and you improve your productivity and creativity. So if you want to, if you want to basically smash out a project at work, or if you want to kind of create something, or just do something or learn a new skill, get a good night's sleep, and your creativity and your productivity just goes through the roof.
Definitely. In relationships,
Yeah.
like, you're able to relate to other people better when you've actually had a good night's sleep, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, so many times, like, it's very easy to snap at somebody, or to, you know, have less patience when you haven't slept very well. You know, when a kid is tired, you encourage them to go and take a nap. But as adults, we don't. We just kind of push through, and we almost like turn off that awareness to the fact that actually we need that rest and recovery, and it's essential, because you get on better with everyone and everything.
Exactly. So next time you feel tired, don't go after that coffee. Take some time for yourself. Take a little rest.
Have a little nap.
Breathe.
Just
exactly.
rest your eyes.
Exactly. Recover and sleep better. Quality over quantity.
So the next fundamental, and this is a short and sweet one, because it's really just a nice result of all of the other things you've been doing, but there's still a key ingredient here, and this is about our energy. Okay, we're taking care of our energy. This takes zero time. Okay, because if you're doing all the rest, you don't have to spend extra time doing this, but you do have to couple it with intention. Okay, because when we have an intention to feel energized and to make sure that we feel like we're at our optimum, if you like, and that we can sustain this high level, right, we're then able to enjoy that increased confidence. We're able to boost our own immune systems. We're able to have better decision making because we're on point. We can almost think around corners because we're energized, right? We have the ability for our body to function at its best. We're able to actually think clearer. We're able to feel better. We're able to actually have that increased performance in all areas of our life when our energy is high. Just think for a moment. Just imagine yourself on a day where you feel high energy and when you feel low energy. What's the difference? So when we take care of our energy, everything else becomes easier, and that intention of what we're doing with our energy is most important. I think it was Brendan Burchard that said, it's like we generate energy. We don't just wait for energy to rock up in our system, and we generate energy. And when you become intentional, when you realise that you're the one in control of how much energy you're putting out into the world, because you are either way, you're just putting out either a low vibing energy, which doesn't really help anything, or you're putting out a high vibrational energy, which is helping you to not only be healthier, but it's also to help other people around you and your environments to be healthier too.
Definitely. And our last one on the Magic 8 tour here, the last fundamental, is action taken. Okay, now in life we're either moving away from what we want or basically towards what we want. Okay, if you're moving away from what you want, you get stuck in one place and you're just not moving anywhere. But if you're moving forward to what you want, that's action taken. You feel lighter, you feel free, you feel good. Basically, and to live a vibrant, happy and healthy life, we must grow towards what we want. It's hugely important, okay? And when we act towards what we want, we can live with no regrets, okay? Regardless of what happens, everything makes you the person that you are. So you live with no regrets as you're moving forward. Improve and appreciate the quality of life for others and loved ones, okay? You start to evolve with the flow of life. You start to adapt easier as well. You start to enjoy life. You grow and you learn, okay? You start to improve your confidence and your self-esteem. And you feel accomplished because as you're moving forward, you're accomplishing these little milestones as you go, and you're feeling like you're reaching. You're getting that sense of achievement as well. You can connect with your purpose, okay, and that's also extremely important one as well. Is when you're moving towards something that you really want, you've got that deeper connection with what you want, with your purpose in life, and you actually begin to boost longevity. Because all that action taken towards what you're trying to do, coupled with everything else you've spoken about, is going to help you live for longer, because it's applying those principles of health and wellness to every single area of your life. You're taking action in every single area of your life, and because of that, your body is going to respond in the right way. It's going to give you what the result of what you're doing to it, and that is going to be a long life. It's going to be a healthy life, a rich life. in whatever that means for you.
What's happening in our outside world is a reflection of what's happening in our inside world. So if you imagine when something's just fallen into place in your life, maybe you got that job, you got the relationship, and just things seemed good. You woke up in the morning, it was sunny outside, the birds were singing, and you felt like everything was just in alignment. Which always happens for you at some point on some level. But when that happens externally, that's a massive signal of what's happening inside. Because inside then, everything starts to become aligned. Your blood starts flowing in the most aligned way possible. Your hormones start working in your system in the way they're supposed to. So it's really a direct reflection, and that's so powerful, because when we are moving forwards, that momentum creates alignment, provided you're in the direction you want to go. So going towards what you want with the action is essential, isn't it?
Definitely. And guess what? It only takes 10 minutes per day to make that decision to take action, okay? And it's getting clear on your activities for the day that is going to move you forwards to what you want, okay? Both conscious and subconsciously. So just 10 minutes per day of sitting down and basically thinking about what am I doing today, okay? What am I going to do that is going to take me closer towards what I want? Okay, and that's it. And you don't have to think about it the whole day. Once you set yourself up in the morning, you keep that in mind. That's all it takes, is 10 minutes to take action and keep moving that little step forward each day to achieving everything that you want.
And that's also included in your journaling time, right? So it's not like 10 extra minutes, oh, I've got another thing on the to-do list. No. It's about you orientating yourself in the direction that you want to go in. Because you've got to remember that our conscious mind gives direction to our subconscious. And our conscious mind is at play like 5% of the time versus 95% of the time our subconscious is at play, that automated part of ourself. So our conscious mind gets to almost like give directions in the morning, and then subconscious for the rest of the day will follow them to the best of its ability. Over time, well practiced, this then becomes automated, and you'll be able to stop consciously giving these directions, and your system will just know what's aligned with it, and it will know how to keep that momentum moving forwards. So these Magic 8 will take you less than 90 minutes every single day. Now, the most recent study of the average person spends 2 hours 24 minutes a day just scrolling on their mobile phone. Not just on their mobile phone, actually, on social media, right? So 2 hours 24 on social media, right? And another one that they come up with as well is that then the average person is also spending 3 hours of a day on their TV, just watching TV, right? So you telling me the 90 minutes just is a bit too much? Isn't really, is it? Just for your general well-being. Because when you couple all of those things together, you're able to leverage even more time. Right, because you get to do all of those things, feel amazing, and then you can, if you really want to continue scrolling on social media and watching TV, you can, but you'll feel great in the process, right? Or you can be using that time, because you'll be feeling amazing, to go after the job that you want, to set up the business you want, to smash it in your study, and whatever it is you're up to, you'll be able to take to the next level effortlessly.
Definitely. So the choice is yours. Okay. And to make this even easier for you, we suggest you use the Magic 8 scorecard. Okay, so simply score yourself on those Magic 8s on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being low, 5 being high. Okay, tracking the Magic 8 is designed to calculate your wins, okay, and learn and think more resourcefully. So as you go, you know what areas of your life are maybe not doing as well as you want to, and you think, okay, where does my focus need to go to start creating balance in all those areas? Okay, it tracks it's like a key performance indicators, your KPIs. If you've ever been in kind of corporate business, your key performance indicators, what you need to achieve every day, every week, every month. This is exactly the same thing to help you moving forward and to be in a more resourceful state. So just like obviously the business tracks its incomings and outgoings, it's the same thing. So you're tracking what's coming into you, to your health and wellness, and what you're putting out as well. Now, is that creating that performance you want? Is that creating the result you want? If not, then that's a sign. Okay, there's my focus. I need to improve my quality of my sleep. I need to improve my quality of thinking. I maybe need to change the way I think about food or water. So all these different things will help you to get those 8 into balance, and tracking it is essential. It's essential metrics to make sure that you are on track for living an extraordinary life.
Exactly, and it's not just about expecting to see you scored yourself 5 every day in all of these areas. It's about you seeing, no, actually, do you know what? Today was a 1. Today I didn't put my best in, but that's okay because now tomorrow I know I can do better. Right, that's what it's about. It's about bringing your awareness to these Magic 8 because that's what going to be the fundamentals are to be able to push you forwards. There is 0 point, okay, in starting a new diet or doing starting a new exercise regime or trying to just pretend that you're more confident. There is 0 point in doing any of that if you haven't got these Magic 8 covered. Okay, I know that sounds like really harsh and almost like quite abrupt, but that's the reality. Until you start taking care of all of these areas, doesn't matter, you'll be wasting time and effort elsewhere. So listen, look out for upcoming episodes because we're actually going to do an episode for every single one of these areas in a lot more detail, giving you a step-by-step of how to do it. So for this episode, it was very much around you understanding what are these fundamentals, how can they benefit you in your life. You get to now question, actually, are these things, do they need my attention in my life? And if the answer is yes to that, then this is for you to be tuning into. Start already scoring yourself. Start using that scorecard in all of those different areas. How are you faring? 1 low, 5 high. What does that look like for you? And then come back to us for the upcoming episodes where you can go deeper and learn some really useful tools that are going to help you to be able to increase that score to a 5 so that it becomes easy and effortless for you.
Definitely. So that is it from us today. Okay, so there's a lot of information for you to go take away from there and think about and start to think about your health and wellness. Okay, and we're really looking forward to seeing you on the next episode where we can delve deeper and really provide you with the practical tools to help you to become more aligned in your Magic 8.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.